Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for February 6th. February 6th is the 37th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 328 days remaining to the end of the year, 329 in leap years. Graffito is a noun that means an inscription or a drawing on a public surface, such as a rock or a wall. It can also be a message or slogan written as a graffito. Graffito is the singular form of graffiti. Graffito. And with that, we are going to start in the year 60. February 6th in the year 60 is the earliest date for which the day of the week is known. The note about this says a graffito in Pompeii identified this day as Sunday. Back then, people loved to write stuff on walls just like they do now. So it happened. This is the birthday of Anne, Queen of Great Britain, Queen of England, Scotland, and Ireland, born February 6, 1665. England and Scotland actually united as a single sovereign state known as Great Britain in 1707, and she continued to reign as Queen of Great Britain and Ireland until her death in 1714 at the age of 49. On February 6, 1685, James II of England and 7th of Scotland, that's all one name, James II of England and 7th of Scotland, was proclaimed king upon the death of his brother Charles II. James II of England and 7th of Scotland was the last Catholic monarch of England, Scotland, and Ireland. This is the birthday of Aaron Burr, born February 6, 1756. He was the third vice president of the United States. And yikes, during his last year as vice president, he engaged in a duel with Alexander Hamilton, in which he fatally shot Hamilton. Now, dueling was actually illegal by this time, but for some reason, Burr was never tried, and the charges were eventually dropped. He might not have had to go to prison over this, but it certainly ruined his political career. He went west, made a few more ill-advised life choices. Of course, there's a lot more, but I think that's enough Aaron Burr for right now. He lived to the age of 80. On February 6, 1778, New York became the third state to ratify the Articles of Confederation. It has nothing to do with the war between the states, which was almost 100 years later. The Articles of Confederation was an agreement among the first 13 states of the Union that served as its first constitution. Ratification was completed by all 13 states by early 1781. And then a few years later, the current Constitution was hashed out, and on February 6, 1788, Massachusetts became the sixth state to ratify the United States Constitution. This is the birthday of baseball great Babe Ruth, George Herman Ruth. He was born February 6, 1895. There's a lot to know and tell about Babe Ruth, but we're going to keep moving. I will tell you, though, that Babe Ruth was one of the first 5 inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936. Of course, that is an incredible honor to be among that number. And that said, as I've mentioned before, not everyone who gets in on the first ballot, but Babe Ruth sure did with 95.13% of the vote, 95.13. That's a significant number of votes. Babe Ruth lived to the age of 53. This is the birthday of Ronald Reagan, born February 6, 1911. He was, of course, a very popular movie star and then governor of California and then the 40th president of the United States. Mr. Reagan lived to the age of 93. And that's all I have for you today. Hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. As always, links to my research are included in the show notes. And again, I'll have links up there to the playlist. Alrighty, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.